Chapter 1, Section 1 in Pre-Algebra, Writing Expressions. So the goal for this part of the notes is to help us know what words associate with addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, etc. Because what we're going to be doing is transferring things from algebraic expressions, that'd be something like this, to verbal or written expressions, something like this. So this is written in math language, algebraic expression, the way they say it. This is written more in English words, 3 times x plus 4. So these two things both mean the same things, and sometimes you'll be given this and asked to write it in verbal form. Sometimes you'll be given this and asked to write in algebraic form. So to help make sure we know how to go from one to the other, we're going to talk about the words that are associated with these different operations. So for addition, obviously the word add, the word plus, sum, S-U-M, that's the result of adding these together. The result is a sum. Combine can also mean addition. Increase, more than, or greater than. Now there are some others you could use, but as far as what you'll see in the book or on worksheets that are going to start this way and ask you to move this direction, that should cover them. And if you need to pause because I'm going too quickly, just keep in mind you can just pause. Okay, for subtraction, we've got minus, take away, difference, obviously the word subtract, less than, put an asterisk right here to remind us of something, and fewer than. Now this doesn't cover all of them. There's also shorter than, smaller than, you could be even younger than, anything like that. Now the reason I put an asterisk here is because for all of these, like you look up here, this says 3 times x plus 4. So we see a 3, an x, and a 4. And that's the order they come in, 3, x, and 4. That's true for all of these words except for these two right here. When you see this word than paired with something that makes something smaller or less or fewer, then the numbers are written backwards. So you've got to have this word than as a red flag in your mind, that if it says 3 less than x, you don't write 3 minus x. You write x minus 3. Or if you say I am 5 years younger than Alice, you would say A for Alice's age minus 5. So whenever you see the than with less than, fewer than, shorter than, younger than, all those things, make sure you reverse whatever order they put it in the sentence when you write it as an expression. Okay, for multiplication, have times, multiply, product, of, and each. So as far as these, let's say you brought in some gum, and there's 10 people in your class, and you said, I want everybody to have 3 of them, 3 pieces of them. So that means you are giving 3 pieces to 10 people, so you need to do 3 times 10 is 30. So that's an example of being multiplication. Or you could also say, I want them to get 3 pieces each. So that would tell you need to multiply 3 times 10 to get 30 also. Okay, for division, we have quotient divided by divided into. So that one's pretty straightforward. As long as you remember the word quotient, these are pretty big red flags that you're dividing. Okay, we're going to briefly talk about parentheses. I don't think we'll actually encounter any of these in pre-algebra, but I know if you take me in algebra, this will come up. So the words, kind of the special words that mean the result of addition, sum, the result of subtraction, difference, the result of multiplication, product, and the result of division, quotient. That all goes in there. Now, you won't always use parentheses when you see these. And again, I don't think in pre-algebra you'll actually run across this, but there could be times where they say 3 times the sum of x and 4. That would be a time where you'd want to write 3 parentheses x plus 4, because you're multiplying 3 by the whole thing combined, not just one or the other. Or they could say twice the difference of 2 and 5, and so you would do 2 parentheses 2 minus 5, and so on. This is more so just to give you a heads up for the future. You don't have to worry about this too much right now. Last one on this side of the page, exponents. That's things that look like this. That's an exponent, the number written as a superscript, written up high and a little smaller. The one right there is squared. If it's a 3, it's cubed. Then after that, we don't have any special names for them. You just say to the nth power. Now, n is not what we'll say. N just represents the number. So it could be to the 4th power, to the 5th power, to the 11th power, or whatever. On the back side of this page, we're going to talk about the order of operations. So this calls them grouping symbols. We think of them as parentheses. At the moment, parentheses are the only grouping symbols we really know. But as you get farther in math, there's other grouping symbols like absolute value bars and different things like that. So that's why they are more general here. But you can just think of this as parentheses. And you should always first simplify any expressions inside grouping symbols or parentheses. That's step 1 when you're doing the order of operations. Then E for exponents. You should evaluate exponents second if there are any. Then we have our M and our D for multiplication and division. And you should multiply or divide, or multiply and divide. Sometimes you'll have both. You should always do that from left to right. So if there's more than one of them in that, you should always do it from left to right. And last, addition, subtractions. This is our PEMDAS. You should add and subtract from left to right. I want to make sure you notice something. There are 6 letters we use in the order of operations, P, E, M, D, A, S, but this is purposeful that there's only 4 boxes. Because even though there's 6 letters or 6 operations, you could kind of think of it, there's really just 4 steps. It does not matter whether you multiply or divide first. Like multiplication does not have precedence or privilege or priority over division. Now exponents do. They have to be done before these. But these two are really equal. They are both part of the 3rd step. The only thing that's important is that you do them from left to right. So if division comes first as you're moving left to right, do division first. If multiplication comes first, as you're moving from left to right, do that first. Now the same is true for addition and subtraction. They are equal as far as when to do them. The only thing that tells you what to do first is moving from left to right. So keep in mind there's really just 4 steps. There's the parentheses, step 1. Exponents, step 2. Multiplication and division together are step 3. Addition and subtraction together are step 4. So let's practice this here. As I look, I see there's multiplication and addition. Well, multiplication is in the step before addition, so that means I should do the multiplication first. 2 times 5 is 10. 10 plus 6 is 16. Number 2, we have addition and subtraction. They're both in the same step, so all I have to do is make sure I do it from the left to the right. So first, 5 plus 2 is 7. 7 minus 3 is 4. As I look at number 3, I see there's division and subtraction. As I look up here, division comes before subtraction, so I should divide first, then subtract. 25 divided by 5 is 5. 5 minus 4 is 1. As I look at number 4, I see there are some parentheses. Just realized 4 and 5 are the same thing, so we'll just do number 4. So 4 and 5 are parentheses. We have parentheses and they come first. They are always the first step. So I should do 3 plus 4 first. 7, sorry, and 5 plus 3. Now it's multiplying. The parentheses imply multiplication, which I did remember to put there, forgot to put there. 7 times 8 is 56, and that's our answer. So 5 is the same thing. We'll skip that. And on number 6, now I put parentheses here to make a point. Most of the time this would just be written as 8 times 9 over 3 times 4. We don't tend to put parentheses around the numerator at the top and the denominator at the bottom, but when you have a fraction with operations inside, you should treat it like these are parentheses. It's almost like these are grouping units of their own. So you should do everything on top first, everything on the bottom, then do the division. Because you want to simplify everything up here, simplify everything down here, then do the division or the reducing. So 8 times 9 is 72, 3 times 4 is 12, and 72 divided by 12 is 6. And I apologize, this should be fixed on your paper, but I think there's a times that should be right here that disappeared. So as we look, we have 2 sets of parentheses this time. These square brackets, they're the same thing as the round parentheses. Books just often use them because they want to make sure it's clear. This is one set of parentheses, then this is a different set of parentheses. But they work just the same way. So we actually do the 4 plus 5 first because they're the innermost part. There are parentheses inside of parentheses. So I first see, oh, there's some brackets, so I just need to narrow down to what's inside there. But then I see there's another set of parentheses, so I narrow down just to that. So I do 4 plus 5 is 9. 9 times 3, because that's still in parentheses, is 27. And then 2 times 27 is 54. So the focus in this section is on converting from algebraic to verbal expressions, or vice versa, and the order of operations.